Right when Sonic games share the same name. I was in 11 to 6. I was 1 when that game came out.
I'm bored of playing Sonic 2. If only I could play something different, but with the exact same game!
Well, friend, do I have a game for you! Here, kid, try this! It's Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Game Gear.
Oh boy!
Oh my
I
god!
can't wait to reverse
Sonic
through new
2.
fast-paced levels as my favorite
You're
duo,
6.
Sonic and Tails!
I mean, blood's on your hands, kid. You should have collected those emeralds.
The Vorse might be disappointing, but not as disappointing as getting the game you wanted for so long on the wrong console. At least with the Vorse, you get double the presents. Same name, different game. A tagline used on video games that often share the same name as their counterpart, while also delivering a vastly different experience. You want SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom on your PC? Take a point-and-click adventure. You want the Simpsons game on your DS? Have a 2D platformer. You want Mario Odyssey on your PC? Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself, and then go die.
Sonic the Hedgehog, as you can guess, is no exception to this. Ever since Sonic's inception, we've had countless games that release with the same name at the same exact time, but offering a pretty different experience. But the question is, are any of them good? 9 times out of 10, the HD ones are kinda ass, so just take a wild guess. Sonic 1 and 2 are some of the most revolutionary Sonic games in the franchise. The two games that single-handedly put Sega's console back on the market. The Master System. They really knew how to make that Brazil crowd happy. I'll be looking at the Game Gear version, since they're the most widely available versions of these games. You know, the Game Gear, the handheld you could be arrested for if you shoved it in your pockets in public. Sonic 1 and 2 8-bit are vastly different compared to their Genesis counterparts. While the story and gimmicks of Sonic 1 are pretty much the same, 50% of the levels are completely original. We start off in familiar territory, but instead of going to Marble Zone, we head off to Bridge Zone, taking place on the mountaintops with collapsing bridges, seesaws that launch you high up in the air, and auto-scrolling. Kind of the complete opposite of the ideals of Sonic's gameplay, but whatever, I'm more so trying to figure out what the hell happened to his nose. Jungle Zone, home of the... and Sky Base, the final stage of the game. It's pretty much just the Mario 3 airships, but I think the concept and look is pretty cool for a final level. Green Hill, Labyrinth, and Scrap Brain Zone all remain here, but their level design is far from the Genesis ones, especially Scrap Brain. That stage is a joke compared to the console counterpart. The bosses are also nothing like the Genesis bosses either. In fact, these are some of the easiest in the whole series. I mean, Robotnik just kinda doesn't do anything here. As for the level design itself, while very different from Sonic 1 Genesis, it's very decent. The original Sonic 1 on Genesis was very platform heavy compared to the other games, but this game takes only those platforming aspects. There's no loops, very little parts that show off Sonic's speed, and an even smaller scale of alternating paths. They are there, but it's not as varied compared to the Genesis version. And they're also usually there for hitting goodies instead of faster paths. Stuff like extra lives, checkpoints, shields, Jolly Ranchers. Yeah, I don't know why, but Chaos Emeralds are just kind of scattered in these levels. I mean, special stages are in the game, but I can only handle so much blast processing, I'm gonna throw up! Sonic 1 8-bit ain't a bad game at all. It's simple, sure, but it's very charming. And the music is just as catchy as the Genesis soundtrack. I'd say Bridge Zone and Jungle Zone beat some of the Genesis beats any day of the week. I mean, Jungle Zone just makes you want to get down and...
That's awesome. You know, I actually had a limited edition Wii. Is PS4 actually that old? I don't know. I don't really know when PS4 came out. I just know PS5 is like new. But I actually did a limited edition Wii because the Wii I had was like red instead of the common like white and black. That's like the only difference. 15 to 2013. Oh, damn. Okay. Or that one? Yeah.
Not Sonic 2, though. In Sonic 2, you can't have fun. This game takes everything about Sonic 2 and just throws it out the window. Even Tails. Probably the most important part of Sonic 2 isn't even here aside from the story. The whole plot of Sonic 2 8-bit is pretty much a hostage situation. Robotnik kidnaps Tails and it's up to Sonic collecting all of the Chaos Emeralds in order to save him. My bad. There's no spin dash, checkpoints, special stages, or really anything here from the 16-bit version. There's not even a single level from the original Sonic 2 that comes back. And holy fuck,
What?
this game is hard. And not the fun kind of hard either, just the bad kind. Every principle from the classic Sonic games, throw them out the window. Damn it, I was in the house, how did I get hit? It's definitely a faster 8-bit game for sure, and the loops making a comeback are a nice touch, but it is much, much harder to go back to this game compared to Sonic 1. The only power-up to my knowledge is this new hang glider. Think of it like the cape from Mario World, but not as good. The level themes are pretty decent, however, and pretty varied. The underground zone being a minecart-filled cave, Sky High Zone, the only level to include the hang glider, Aqua Lake, the only thing I can really remember from this one is the bubbles you can ride. Cool. Green Hills
Bubble.
Zone. Green
That's
Hill Zone.
cool.
Gimmick Mountain speaks for itself. Scrambled Egg Zone. Sure. And lastly, the secret Crystal Egg Zone. Why aren't I showing Crystal Egg Zone?
Damn. I'm sorry.
I mean, he ain't coming back. I don't know what to tell you. Do I recommend Sonic 2 8-bit? Yes and no. It's not horrible, and there's quite a few parts in this game I wish were fully realized, because all in all, this game had the right mindset. But if you want to play this game at all, I suggest playing Sonic 2 Gear Shift, a fan-made reimagining of the game. As of this video, there's only a demo right now, but it's an insanely good one, and the footage here proves it. Speaking of Sonic 1 and 2, let's move on to Sonic Jam.
Wait!
Huh?
You forgot this one.
Spell the word magic.
Oh, God.
Is this some sick joke to you? Now you may be wondering, what's so different about the ports of Sonic 1 and 2 in Sonic Jam, the classic Sonic collection that not only builds the games up from the ground up, but also has a full 3D island you can run around in? Well, nothing. It's a great collection for the Genesis games. So I've heard. I'm talking about Sonic Jam. For the Gamecom. Is it good?
Oh, God.
I wanna go home now.
Well, that's pretty much it for the classic era of Sonic games here. There were a few ports of other Sonic games for the Game Gear, like Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, but that's all they were. Ports. I guess Spinball kinda counts here because the layout of the pinball tables are pretty different from what I've been told, but that's about it. All other Game Gear games were completely original. With huge quotations. And all was right in the world. Ah. Well, I mean, it can't be that bad. Consoles usually house multi-platform titles all the time. And more often than not, it's usually always the same experience. Bitch, fuck you. It's time to play games on a system with the power of a calculator.
I'm a fucking bad bitch at this game, son. Oh, god damn, the screen went black.
Let's get this out of the way right now. Sonic
Okay.
Unleashed is the most popular case of same-name different game in this whole franchise, with the Xbox and PS3 versions being developed by Sonic Team and the Wii versions being developed by Dimps, the team behind the Sonic Advance and Sonic Rush games. And as a kid, this sucked, because I saw stuff like this and thought, man, this looked great, and it's on my Wii? Well, what are we waiting for? I want this now!
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Several years later, now that I'm a functional adult that can buy my own games, it's a lot easier to bear Unleashed on Wii knowing I can just pop in the HD version at any time. And for what it's worth, it's a pretty solid version of the game, all things considered. Out of all the boost games in the franchise, this game has a unique flavor to it, focusing less on holding down the boost and more so saving the boost bars you have for the correct moment. The Werehog stuff is pretty much the same, just with tacked on motion gimmicks and a more streamlined XP system, as well as being like 15 times longer than the Werehog segments of the HD counterpart. Also, they just kind of cut Missouri and Empire City out of this game. I mean, I only see that as a plus. In comparison, the HD version features, let's see here, better graphics, level design, cutscene quality, better hub worlds, better controls, better combat. I already talked about the qualities of both versions in my Sonic Unleashed video, so instead I want to focus on Sonic Unleashed. For Java phones. Yeah, sure man, fuck it. Game's so great, you gotta make it thrice. Sonic Unleashed on mobile devices is a 2D side-scrolling Sonic Rush type-ish, but instead of 60 frames a second, you get 5 on a good day. You only go through Chunnan, Apatow, Spagonia, and Missouri, with the final boss just casually taking place in Savannah Citadel. It's fine, it's cute, and the music's pretty decent for just a couple of MIDI files. It's more so just like one of those Flash games Sega used to make to promote the actual games, but the idea of a 2D Sonic Rush-styled version of Unleashed is actually a really nice novelty. Kind of feels like if they put Sonic Unleashed on a DS or something, which is actually what they did do 2 years later with Sonic Colors. Oh, yeah, also Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing had the same treatment as Unleashed on Java, so do what you will with that info. Let me put it to you this way. Sonic Colors on Wii is like a nice crispy chicken sandwich at McDonald's. It's junk food. You don't want it all the time, but sometimes you say screw it and just have yourself a McChicken with extra 2D sections. Colors DS, on the other hand? Oh, Colors DS is like a full course meal. It's like a gourmet dinner. It's the better version, yeah, move the fuck on. Developed by Dimps again, just like Unleashed Wii, Colors DS is pretty much just Sonic Rush 3. It has the exact same gameplay, same exact double screen gimmick, just look at the two side by side. This is just Sonic Rush. It's also got the Wisp gimmicks, but this time we have two new additions. First being Burst Wisp, which lets you destroy all enemies on screen and flings you upwards, and the Void Wisp. It's just Frenzy, but you can fly. The plot and level themes are the same, but the writing is pretty different. For starters, the game takes itself a lot more seriously. And secondly, every Sonic character under the sun shows up here. There's also special stages after beating a level. It's just kind of the Sonic 2 half-pipe thing, but once you get all 7, you actually get a Supersonic boss fight. Wow, not only is this game great, but it also feels more like a complete packaged Sonic game. Great job, Sonic Colors DS. You did it good. I really hope more of these games take you as inspiration here. I said inspiration, not parody.
Yeah. Okay, but Sonic Genesis is really cool though.
Generations 3DS is fine. It's fine, and that's really it. It does the exact same thing as Colors DS, as in turning a 3D Sonic Boost game into a Sonic Rush-inspired game. Only this time, it just feels maybe a tad uninspired. Classic Sonic actually feels a lot closer to his Genesis counterpart, but every Genesis level is ripped straight from the OG games. As in, there's no unique level design until the Dreamcast era for him. And even when we get there, he gets this shoehorned in homing attack, so the level design just becomes basic Sonic 4 stuff. Just a bunch of homing attack chains and no reason to explore. Modern Sonic still has the boost formula from the Rush games, but that just kinda means we have two gameplay styles of 2D Sonic. One's just slower than the other. A cool thing about this version is that the level themes are pretty different. For the classic era, we still have Green Hill, but instead of Chemical Plant and Sky Sanctuary, we get Casino Night and Mushroom Hill. For the Dreamcast version, we have Emerald Coast, Radical Highway, even though that wasn't a Sonic stage, and nothing? No third level. And for the modern era, we get Water Palace and Tropical Resort, which is actually cool to see. It spices up the whole two separate games a little bit, but wouldn't it make more sense for all these to be based off of Sonic's handheld adventures? It does seem like they thought of that as well, with Water Palace from Rush and Tropical Resort specifically being from Colors DS, but it seems like they thought of this very last minute. Imagine we got levels like Bridge Zone, Coral Cave, Sunset Park. It would have been a pretty great way to show off Sonic's handheld journey the same way the HD version shows off Sonic's console journey. Hell, for the rival and boss fights, let's get bosses like Fang, Blaze, Silver Sonic. Sky's the limit here. Would have been better than fighting bosses that Sonic never even encountered. Visually though, this game is probably the best looking 3DS Sonic game there is. And it's probably the best looking game on this list in my opinion. The added spectacle elements are a really nice touch, and the music, just as good as the HD one. The Big Arms fight takes about a minute to defeat, and this is the song for it. I think the biggest missed opportunity here is the lack of 3D segments, as it does get insanely repetitive to play two styles that are almost one-to-one. I mean, the 3DS was pretty capable of running 3D platformers, so surely it wasn't that hard, right? It was that hard.
We're giving me quizzes for ads now.
Sonic Lost World on the 3DS is the world's first ever 3D portable Sonic game. Out of all these games, this one's probably the most similar to its counterpart, but that's not really the win it sounds like. I'm not really a big fan of Lost World to begin with, to be honest. They took everything positive about Sonic in the years leading up to it and just threw it out the window in favor of becoming a Mario Galaxy clone. A very, very, very blatant Mario Galaxy clone. In the 3DS version, it's better, but also far, far worse. Better in the sense that I actually think the control and speed are a lot more tolerable here, but worse in the sense that every level besides like the first two are slogs to go through. The levels can last upward to like 20 minutes at a time, not to mention the shoehorned in puzzle gimmicks and mini bosses that make you stop everything you're doing to fight a clunky group of enemies. The 2D sections actually aren't that bad, but it's no Sonic Rush. There's nothing else to say here, it's just a really bad version of a really bad Sonic game. I couldn't even beat it. Even the special stages are horrible here because they force you to use the 3DS's gyro gimmicks. I've really got nothing to say here. At best, it's a nothing burger of a game, and at worst, it's just a shittier version of a shitty Mario Galaxy. Still better than whatever the hell they were doing here. But the true Brendan! You, yes you, were wondering, there's only one version of Sonic Forces, what do you mean? You silly Sonic fan, you're thinking of Sonic Forces, the 2017 high-speed 3D action platformer developed by Sonic Team and published by Sega for PC and consoles. I'm talking about Sonic Forces, the mobile game. Yeah, the game was named Sonic Forces Speed Battle back in 2017 or whatever, but it's just called Sonic Forces now. It's honestly really sad which version is received better. On the topic of phones though, Sonic at the Olympic Games. Not to get confused by Sonic at the Olympic Games. Or on the topic of Olympics, how about the endless void of Mario and Sonic games being released on Nintendo's home and handheld consoles? Sure, they share the same ideas, but Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympics on DS is a full-on RPG. London and Rio have full-on story modes exclusive to the 3DS. Do those count? Or what about Sonic Jump? There's two versions of that game. Does that count? What about Sonic 06 for the Xbox 360? Does that count? I mean, it's named Sonic the Hedgehog after all. Sonic N breaks all the fundamental rules here. That's the same game as Sonic Advance, but with a different name. Why did they even care to do that? McDonald's released a Sonic game simply titled Sonic the Hedgehog? When does it end? The movie's titled Sonic the Hedgehog as well. Same name, different thing? Oh, God. What about the Tiger Electronics Sonic games? Where does the nightmare end?
You know, you try to tell them, don't play Sonic Lost World on 3DS, and every time they end up back here. Brendan? Brendan?